with another episode of the TrakWolf Godcast. I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got my motherfucking brother Cheno Bliss in the building with us as always. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure you tap in the Vinegar Hill. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of dope content over there. You know what I'm saying? Got the merch, everything. You know what I'm saying? We always got the links down below. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, we got a special guest in the building. You know what I'm saying? Coming all the way from NC, Miss BernieOH.
Yeah.
Hey, what's good? How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for showing up and taking the call for us. Much love. We definitely appreciate it.
No problem. I'm excited.
So how is life for you down there in North Carolina?
It's good, busy, fun, quarantined, all that in one.
Yeah, so how is that going with the radio thing? Because I see you up there. You hosted, co-hosted?
So I'm co-hosting. So I'm on the Streets Morning Takeover with Yung Joc and Shanika and Shawty. So I'm up here. I'm the local gossip and news girl. So, me.
Right. So how did you get that position over there?
So with Hot 97.9, I actually started out as the internet girl. I was blogging and I ended up doing their website and all of their blogs. So when the time came, I was just patient and ready to go. So when it was time for me, I got it.
How long did you have to be patient?
Okay, so my patient at Hot 97.9 isn't everybody's patient because it was only like maybe 3 months, 4 months.
Okay, see,
that was fast.
Some told me to ask.
But and I've been doing radio since college, so that's 2010, yeah, since I went to college. So
Well, you got you got good charisma too. Like you seem very personable.
A lot of personality.
Yeah. So I'm sure that was a big part. Yeah.
So you said you were doing it in school as well. Where did you go to school at?
I went to UNC Charlotte. Go 49ers. Y'all probably don't need nobody.
Not at all. We support though.
Okay. It's a white school, but we're like really diverse. So it was dope. I wish I would have went to a HBCU though, but I didn't. So.
Oh yeah, it happens. But you said you was doing radio out there as well too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew to do radio?
Charlotte. And that was pretty cool. We did music reviews and local talent, and it was on the campus and surrounding areas. So it was pretty dope. Pretty dope.
That's nice. So you always been into radio, or was it something you just picked up when you got to college?
So my aunt actually does radio, and she still does radio. She's been doing it since I was little. So I've been around radio a lot. But I don't know. I think radio I kind of just fell into. I really wanted to do like tour management or work for a label because I worked for Warner Music Group while I was in college as well. So, I went to shows and concerts and stuff like that. But, sometimes you just fall into different things. And with that, I started blogging, and blogging led me to radio. So, and I still hope to do a lot more than just radio. So,
Yeah, that's pretty dope though, you know what I'm saying? Because you had to have a big personality growing up to want to flow into it and already having it, manifesting around you with your family member you said was already into it. So
the funny thing is I was actually pre-med in college. So my major was so yeah, I'm half Nigerian. So any Nigerians out there will know you have 3 choices.
Salute. I love Nigeria. I've never been, but I know some Nigerians.
Yes. Shout out all my Niger people.
Yes.
So how did your family feel about you stepping into radio since it's not one of those 3 choices?
They're not happy. But I've always been a free spirit. I paid most of my way through school. I worked 4 jobs. Like, I was like, listen, if y'all ain't gonna help me, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna have fun doing it. So I did what I wanted to do.
So was you schooling when I ran into you?
I believe so. Yeah, I think I was in grad school at that point at ECU.
You was working, but it wasn't doing radio.
Yeah, because I was a lot of stuff. I think at that time is when I came back and I was just trying to get like, take a break, figure out life. You have those moments where you don't really know what to do, but then radio just came. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see the transition. You was also talking about modeling too, right?
Yes, so that too. So, I feel like it's all a part of the brand. You got to do more than one thing, so.
Got you. So what helped you build that mind concept?
Being Nigerian, being independent, being a Leo, like all of that. Yeah. Like, you gotta go and you gotta get it. You're not gonna get rich by sitting on your ass. Can I cuss?
Yeah. Okay. He's very organic over here. Our audience already.
All right.
Yeah, very organic.
You gotta put in some work. So yeah. I figured, I remember hearing Ludacris's story, and he started in radio, but he knew he wanted to do music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can go into so many things. You just have to have different talents. And when you are multi-talented, us as Black people, we have hella talent. We can pretty much do whatever we put our mind to. So why not just do that? Because you never know what will open the door,
When you say that, it makes me think of like, do we really have that many talents, or do we as a people just really believe in ourselves in general?
I believe we actually do have a lot of talents, because I've been around a lot of people who can't just get up and learn something. Now, it might be a cultural thing, because we have been taught to, make sure we're first. If we're not first, if we're second or third, then it's not gonna be the same or hold up to our white counterparts or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think, but I really feel like Black people really do have a lot of talents, and we really are capable of doing a lot of things. And we haven't always believed in ourselves, but we still did stuff. So, I'm gonna have to go with we just talented and gifted.
Speaking of like believing in yourself, like I remember you mentioning you had 4 jobs and you was going to school. Like, how do you maintain balance and like distribute energy and doing all of that? You know what I'm saying?
I was tired. but I didn't want debt. Like I didn't want those college people who went and had credit cards. I didn't want Sally Mae calling me all the time, which now that they coming out with relieving loans and stuff, I'm like, shoot, maybe but I mean, I didn't want to be in debt. I didn't want nobody to be calling me. I knew if I went to medical school, that was going to be even more money. So I was just like, nah, let me just put in this work. I always found jobs that I really like. People used to be like, you found like the best jobs. And I'm just like, yeah, I really do. Like, they be easy. Warner, I worked from home and did concerts and parties. I was a 4th grade Spanish teacher.
You was a Spanish teacher?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is Spanish. Hey, I'm talking elementary level.
Oh, okay. So how much Spanish do you have to know to do that?
Enough to convince the principal.
Come on, Sam.
But I was a Spanish minor, so I do know quite a bit. Like, I'm conversational, but yeah, we're gonna have to go slow. I'm right on the level with them. We was talking good.
Yeah. So if you could speak Spanish, you speak English. Nigeria, is their language French?
No, so we were colonized by Britain, so speak English, but that's like the generalistic language, but my traditional tongue or language is Igbo. Yep.
Got you. So it's more native tongues over there.
Mm-hmm.
Than English.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Have you been over there yet? No.
I'm always working. And like when I was younger, that wasn't really on me. Like, my mama is American, like, girl, no. And when I started being able to do stuff on my own and travel on my own, I never had the time to go all the way out there, because you don't buy a ticket to Nigeria for no 2 weeks or nothing. Like, you know, if I go, I'm gonna have to stay for like a month or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a lot of places to go. I'm very connected to my family there. I talk to my cousins almost every day. So, you know, I would want to spend time there and actually like be there for a while. So I'm working on it.
That's a good plan though.
One day.
I feel like if it wasn't so much bullshit to travel, then we all would be moving around a lot more freely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And touching base.
Yeah. And I love traveling. So, you know, I definitely want to travel. I miss being outside.
Yeah, I can tell. I can feel that. So how does the COVID affect the radio?
So radio is considered essential because we give updates and stuff like that. So I still go in and do my show. And I'm really the only person in the studio anyway. So that's good for me, at least.
Yeah.
But it's a drag, you know what I'm saying? Like right before COVID was when I hopped on to the Yung Joc show. So we were supposed to do like a tour thing and like a promotion and campaign stuff. So, you know, it's been a lot more work to get like listeners, but I got my numbers in and we have tripled the listeners for the month. So I'm excited about it.
Congrats. I'll be seeing you put that work in.
Try it. It'd be early, but I'll be trying.
You definitely doing. So that's definitely a big congrats, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Is Joc actually there?
Hmm?
Is Joc actually there? Or
well, he's in, so we stream it in and I come in between and I do the board and all of that. So I'm pretty much my own producer, engineer.
That's kind of a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it opens a lot of doors. I want to be great at a lot of things, and multitasking radio is definitely one of them now.
I know. So do you have a virtual place as well, or is it just mostly audio radio?
So it's mostly audio, but I like to do videos and stuff, and you can go online and see different snippets of different segments and stuff like that. But you know, it's not live stream just yet. But you do got a YouTube channel for it to kind of check out a couple segments of you actually in the studio. We got a whole website. I'm the website girl still.
Oh, yeah,
that's enough. So we have a website at 979nc.com. And a lot of stuff up there. We do videos. We have spotlights for talent. So if anybody wants to submit music or anything, we got that up there. So yeah, we're doing it. We're trying to put everybody on, trying to get out to the community and do what we do.
That's pretty dope. That's kind of like us, except we want to stretch worldwide. You know, we happen to local in the process, but we're trying to.
I know. Y'all doing it. Y'all are doing it. So kudos to y'all.
Thank you. What are some things you had to learn in stepping into the forefront of radio?
Oh, for one, it's to be humble. It's always something trying to set you back. It's always somebody talking, and it took me a lot to realize, like, you know, talking means they talking, and I had to be humble about a lot of stuff. And being humble also gets you a lot of places, because a lot of people try to be like different or act like they have clout and do all this other stuff. But, you know, I want to be relatable. I've always said I just wanted to be me. And being yourself is another one. Like, a lot of people try to put on a persona, but you really just win being yourself. You know what I mean? So that, and to be smart about your business. You know what I mean? Like, make the money. Like, don't, a lot of times people be like, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? It's like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Really build connections if they're good connections to have. Like, you know, you can do different things, but don't let people take advantage of your gifts. Like, don't just be out here doing a whole bunch of stuff for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody else gain, and you turn around and you're like, dang, like I did all this for them, but where is it to show? Because I've had those moments too, you know?
So what part of your life, in your experiences, did you get to that you start getting to this perception that you at now, as far as like how to go about and move about around things?
So honestly, recently, I really will say, because before Hot 97, I was working for another radio personality. I was her assistant, and yeah, I pretty much did all her blogs, all her stuff, all her edit. Like, you know, I would run around and everything pretty much, and never got any credit for it. And to the point where, well, I mean, I got credit for it, but you know, I didn't have anything to show later. And I pretty much had to start over. And it was pretty much to the point where like people from the source were hitting her like, oh, your assistant, can she do this for us? Which I was thinking like, yeah, this is a great opportunity. And she'd be like, no, she's mine. So, you know, being great.
Cutting you behind the scenes. He was trying to keep you under the wing.
Yeah.
Some people don't like when other people elevate past them. Yeah. That was the elevation.
That's really where I learned, you know, that's where I got my first, like, okay, you gotta do what you gotta do for you. Like, yeah. But I really want to trust somebody until they make me not trust them. So
that's the same thing I said. Go ahead. And I had the opposite. Like, people usually have to earn my trust. So I was actually gonna ask you, how does like a situation like that? Because I can imagine if you're working with somebody, you develop some type of bond with them. Like, how does a situation like that affect you? You know what I mean?
Honestly, it just made me want to go harder and just prove that I could do it, because I felt like more so it wasn't that they didn't recognize that I was talented. It wasn't that. It was just they felt like they wanted me to feel like I needed them. So for me, it just really made me grind harder. It made me find different avenues, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I left, I made sure that, you know, I'm going to do what I have to do under my name. I'm going to get credit for everything I do. I'm going to make sure that I have a business to get revenue for what I need to get revenue for. You know what I mean? Like, it just made me push harder and think smarter, because, and I appreciate it. And I mean, I learned so much working for this person, so I'm not like dogging them out or anything like that. But, you know, you learn that sometimes it's a dog eat dog world, and they could snap and turn on you the next day. You could become their competition. So
I think that's the bad part about it, because the way you said you trust first until they show you can't. That's how I am. So that's the fucked up thing about it, is you try to lead out with honesty and genuinity and sincerity, and try to be upfront about everything as much as possible.
Yeah.
But then, this motherfucker done cut me. You know?
Yeah, but you know what I'm learning with that? People show you who they are. They really do, before they do anything before you can allow to do anything to hurt you. They show you who they are. And she showed me. Everybody shows me. And now it's my choice to continue in a situation, which I feel like I gained from it. So, I mean, hey.
So, like, you seem like you have yourself together as far as how to approach people and what you need to have together yourself when you approach people. Like, you work on the radio, you said, you know, you have artist spotlight and you like to help people. How should an artist or someone trying to do business approach a radio station or personality?
Okay, so for one, I feel like you should really just try to build a connection. 9 times out of 10, if you just like interact with them on social media, they're gonna be cool, honestly. Especially if they're based on doing things like that. Like, especially if you notice them having connections with other independent artists or this, that, and the third. Also, make sure your stuff is professional and good. You know what I mean? Like, make sure it's edited, make sure it's radio quality, you know what I'm saying? And also what a lot of people don't do, which I think is the most important thing to do, go on the station's website, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a place for you to submit stuff. 9 times out of 10, they're going to have the contact for either the PD who picks all the music, or they'll have the contact for somebody who has a show specifically geared. Like, a lot of times people hit me up about it, and I'm great with like independent music or whatever, but we have so many avenues, and it's like if they would have went to the website, they would have got me, Coco, Party Boy, you know what I'm saying? They would have had multiple people they could have relationships with. But if you just want me, that's cool too.
No, I feel you. We do got to do better at being able to get over to websites. It's like our first instinct is social media is first.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's social media, not website. So it's like it has someone. Not saying me. It should be a way to get to these websites easier, opposed from just Google in the search engine, because apparently that's not fast enough for these websites. It should be a click away, like how it is with motherfucking everything else.
That's dope. That could be like a station directory or something.
Yeah, because Google is okay, but that's like, it's not for the people. You know what I'm saying? There's other people shit, like they should have something a little bit more direct for a website.
Yeah.
And when I'm thinking like as far as relatability, social networks are more relatable than any website I can think of.
So we back from the break, you know what I'm saying? So what we about to get into next is BernieOH, you know what I'm saying? See what's up with her spiritual path, you know what I'm saying? How did you get, you know what I'm saying? How did you find your journey as far as your spirituality place?
So I was raised apostolic, so I couldn't wear pants or makeup or nail polish or anything like that. We had like Saturday night prayer and all of that, so I was always in the church. But even then, I was always curious about other things. So I looked into Islam for a little bit when I was in like high school. I just researched it, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to know about Quran. When I got to college, I told you I was pre-med, so all of my electives that I took were fun electives, but they were all going towards a certificate. So I minored in Spanish, I minored in Africana Studies, and I minored in Women's and Gender Studies until I switched. So I switched to Africana Studies altogether. And that's really when I started learning more about, I took a class about African diasporic religion. So I literally learned about all of the religions that, came from Africa or, migrated with people from Africa. And so then I started really looking into that because I started noticing different things and different practices that I saw my dad doing that I didn't know was, related to traditional African religions. I didn't know my uncle was Ifa. Like, these are things that I found out after I started having the knowledge to ask questions. And from that, I kind of built my own spiritual journey. I feel like I've always been the type of person to have like dreams. I've had people tell me that, or prophesy to get like towards me doing certain things. And, my dad's always said like, you're African and you should look into certain things, like, but you're going to have to want to do it. Yeah. So that just led me to wanting to understand more about like the spiritual world, period, because I thought just going to church on Sunday was cool or whatever. But I really think once I got out of being under my parents and having to do things their way, I think I was really able to see where I wanted to go to church, if I wanted to go to church, if I wanted to explore something else. And I think whatever, I don't know, I feel like I'm really just with my own little relationship with God. You know, I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. I'm still Christian. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, how can you believe all this stuff in E5? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or look at all this stuff and know all this stuff about different stuff. It's just, I don't know. Like, I believe my ancestors guide me and helped me and have done so much to, you know, set me up, period, before they died. And not to mention, you know, continuing, there's an African saying that Black people or African people, we work hardest when we die. Like, because now we got to take care of all y'all niggas. So,
oh,
so it's like,
oh shit! So that goes to show that they know that they are more than just the body; they are the being in the inside.
yeah, and you know, and honestly, it was really just a self journey too, because going through like relationships, going through situations where I felt like, you know, why is this happening to me and this and the third, and just knowing that you really manifest what you want, you speak power, you hold power, you can not necessarily control, but you can encourage certain things to happen. And even when you are, you know, off the wagon a little bit, you might get off track, but you know, you always have the support and the knowledge and the being to be able to do what you need to do.
Yeah, man. And that's back to what you said earlier about how you just always ended up with these jobs that you really liked, that was fun, because that's what you focused your energy on.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't gonna accept nothing else coming towards you. So that kind of goes back to it. And for me, I know when I was younger, all my friends and everybody used to work fast foods, but for some reason my spirit just said, nigga, you're not working fast food. And I always found jobs outside of fast food.
Yes.
Always. So
I'm not gonna lie, baby. McDonald's gave me a scholarship to college.
Yeah, no, I got some buddies that turned managers that did a lot of shit for some of these, and like almost everybody at my high school took a stroll through the McDonald's that's on our 29. So my brother, everybody. So it was just, for me, I was just like, man, I ain't about to go in there where everybody at. I'm not fucking with them over there. Nah, I'm about to get something else. I go do dishes over here. I'm like, different. I ain't gonna do dishes. You want me to take out your trash? I take out your trash, but I don't want to take out their trash. Like, oh shit.
So like the way you like carry yourself and present yourself to me, it just seems like things flow well for you all the time. But I know everyone has hard times and dark times. Like, how do you process and get through the hard times and the dark times?
So a lot of people think I'm weird because I'm like, I'm like one of those people, they say like, I just try to find the good in everything, but that's not the case. I really just try to find the lesson in everything. Like, I might be upset because more so people think I'm upset because of the situation, but I'm upset because I have to figure out a plan to make this so that it doesn't happen on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to be one of those people who just let stuff happen all the time and then does it again and does it again. You know what I mean? So when I have a hard time, I'm more so looking for the lesson. Like, okay, so now I need to learn that I shouldn't trust people all the way, but I should do this. Like, I'm not going to change myself. So, you know, let me just look for this next time. And if I see this, then I need to go ahead and back up. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll be like,
fighting right there.
And I'm one of those people where I kind of like, I don't want to say blame myself, but I look at what I did. Like, I know people are people.
Blame yourself. Self-reflect and blaming.
So I'll be like, well, Bernie, if you wouldn't have did this, then they wouldn't have felt comfortable enough to do this. So, you know, lesson learned. Don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's the trickery it dispels with the words. It's not blaming, it's self-reflecting. But because we learned it that way, that's how they mind fuck us with the words, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people go in this place where they always blame themselves. No, bitch, take blame out the way and look at it as self-reflect. people always go to these places where they self-reflect. If they doing something different, then they're self-reflecting. Their actions is gonna show. But if they not, then it, you can tell it's just, they just blaming themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I be trying to keep my daughter in tune with the words too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn. Even when she say can, I'm like, don't say can. Can is a bad word. If you want to say fuck shit, I would about any of these other motherfucking words you want to talk about, just use them in the right manner. Use them in the right tone. The other words, the bad words, is the words that are allowed. In my book, those are the words I feel like are bad. The words that are allowed,
right.
quote allowed. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. You better do that. Affirmations, making sure your daughter uses the right language. I love it.
Yeah, all of that shit reflects her like small example. Like she had did something one day. She came over and she was like, "Daddy, peace." And I said, "Nah, two fingers together for the real peace sign." Togetherness. I explained it to her. I gave her my explanation of the peace sign. You know what I'm saying? This makes more sense. This is togetherness. Unity. This is closeness. This isn't. This is more separation. You know. So she always do this now, but her mom had did it, and we not together. But I let her call her mom if she wants to, and she with me. So she had called her, and her mom had did this, and she said, "No, this, that's wrong." She told her it's the real peace. I said, they really believe in us.
There we go, baby girl.
Yeah. How did you become aware of your ability to manifest?
I've been manifesting. I told y'all I was a PK. I pretty much knew if I wanted something, I was gonna have to believe in something and pray to something, or you know what I'm saying, or put my mind to something. And I've always been very smart. So it's like a lot of things I could do, but you know, you get those situations where it's like, I don't know how you pulled this one off, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that happened for a reason because I wanted it. So
and what's crazy is everyone that comes through the Godcast, we all started off in the church, high or low position, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that we all got in common is that once we got able to take our own journey, we realized that guy was helpful, but it wasn't the one for us. But it's almost like it makes you believe in something besides yourself. It's like a good belief, but it's making you believe in something else besides yourself. You know what I'm saying? When really it's you, because if you didn't do it and you just believed in it, then nothing would happen.
yeah, but even like, you know, I believe everybody because I don't know, you know, I'm a PK. So I was my mama would always be like, honey, praying just praying ain't gonna do nothing for you. God only helps those who help themselves. You know what I'm saying? And my mama would always like, you know, it's power in your tongue. Don't say certain stuff because if you say that, this is gonna happen. My mama will also say, don't believe every pastor because Jesus said there's some pastors that's gonna be left behind too because they ain't living right either. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had a real view of all of it, and I kind of just built that, you know, on my own, and I don't trust every word that's said to me. I know the Bible was written just like, you know, everything else. So it has to be some of me somewhere.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with it. That's why I say we all had touch base in the church. You know what I'm saying? I was locked in there from the time I was born to 10, 11 until we moved, and then it was like until she found the right church, we were still in and out of church until she found the right one. And then I was of age where I could remove myself. So.
About the same age. Look.
So how was that process for you once you removed yourself out of there? What was like the first thing you did when you was able to remove yourself?
Well, I wasn't really okay, so I wasn't able really to remove myself because, you know, I was still living with my parents and they still had me in the church or whatever. But, you know, you start to build your own relationship and figure out what you believe. And I still think going to church is a good lesson. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can learn life lessons and stuff. So I still appreciate it for that. But, you know, I just made sure I researched and I did what I felt like I needed to do. It took a lot of trial and error. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of me saying, I don't really think that's the case. Or, you know, especially being so young, we don't really know everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know. We haven't really experienced life. Well, not enough, but you know what I'm saying? We haven't gone through enough things where our spiritual, you know, well, where spirituality helped us get through. So, I mean, once I started going through more stuff, I started saying, yeah, nah, this can't be right because this wouldn't be like this. Once I was a biology major. So once I started learning about certain scientific stuff, I'm like, well, if this is the case, it makes more sense for this to be the case. So I just started always asking questions. I'll be that kid in church, like, you know, well, if that's the case, then why is that? So
like always ask questions. I always say that shit. Always ask questions. Don't ever just not know. That's why I asked her. Did they tell you why? No. Daddy told you why. Like at least I gave you an explanation of why. You know, this is where it's at. Like always
there we go.
Why. Even question me. Always ask why. I might get tired of it. But always ask why.
Yeah. I grew up where I couldn't ask why, and that's a part of the reason I kind of went away from that institution because I'm just like, why?
Because I said so. Because I said so. I'm like,
I said I used to hate that growing up. Don't tell me because you say so.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's how I would come back.
It makes me want to make my own decision even more and not listen. Now I'm leaning which way I really want to go. Since you just said, because I said so. Damn. It's crazy how much we start learning once we start going through the process and actually start experiencing and trying to learn through our experiences. Because my parents, my mom, my sperm donor wasn't around. You know, she was, you know, caught up in the system. She working. She not around. We at school back home. She get off. She burnt out of energy. Don't want to be bothered. Like blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Your regular stereotypical situation. So it's like now it's so much technology is right here in front of us. So now you got more kids challenging the parents.
And they smarter. They real smart now. Look.
Yeah.
Good questions early.
Yeah. They do. So, like you said, you never really fully removed yourself, but you never really got into what was some of the things you did when you got a chance to experience life outside of the church.
So I did a lot of.
You couldn't paint your nails, nothing like that.
Huh?
You said you couldn't paint your nails or nothing like that. Like you couldn't do nothing. No,
but see, my mom was American, so I did that up until maybe like middle school. So I could paint my nails like after that. But once I got to college, I'll say like the most profound situations that I've been in is have actually been everyday situations, which is kind of crazy. But okay, so like I told y'all, I took the class about African diasporic religions, right?
Yeah.
So I moved to Atlanta. Nobody knows this. A lot of people don't even know that I'm Nigerian. This was like when I had been in Atlanta for a while. And so I was kind of getting into the like, you know, just always working mode or whatever. And this lady worked for me. And I remember her coming up to me and she just said some like wild shit, like read my life type shit, like on stuff that I didn't even know about. Like, okay, so I'll tell y'all, I don't mind telling y'all, but so my uncle was murdered. He was about to get out of jail. He was murdered. And she came up to me holding her throat and she was like, somebody was choking. And I'm like, girl, what you mean? Like, I don't know nobody that be choking or died like that. And she was like, no, nobody. And I'm like, what? So I called my dad. My dad was like, yeah, they say that somebody smothered him with a pillow or whatever. And so I'm like, oh shit. Well, let me talk to her again. So then I talked to her and that's when I started really like exploring different things. Like, she was E5. my uncle was E5. I started talking to my grandmother. She told me like different things or whatever. And see, my Nigerian family is still very much so Christian. I know it sounds crazy, but they are still very much so Christian. But you know, we also are very much so spiritual. I'm still trying to figure out how it works, but it's working for them, I guess. So, so my tell me stories about how my uncle planned his own funeral and her dreams. She would tell me stories about dreams that I could be like, oh, well, I kind of remember like something like this. And I started having dreams, you know what I'm saying? And like crazy dreams, like stuff that I didn't know about. So I would call and literally get my dreams like dissected. And a lot of it was like, you have like a turmoil. And the lady pretty much told me like, you're going to be somebody to where if you don't tap into your spiritual being, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm not saying it has to be a certain way, but you need to tap into it, because if you don't, you're always going to fail. You're always going to start doing something and then fail, and start doing something and fail. You need to believe and get yourself together and right. Because at this point, like I said, I was in Atlanta turning up. I was in the club every night, going straight to work, had a whole clothes in my trunk type stuff, like ready all the time. Like just living that life. And I did lose track of a lot of spiritual things that I had learned from college, from whatever. But you know, after that, I just started making sure that I meditate. You know what I'm saying? That I research and do what I need to do to make sure that I feed my soul. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to a lot of motivational stuff a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because you hear so much negativity every day. And especially in radio, you know, I'm not going to say that everything is trash, but all the songs are not inspirational. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a lot of substance these days. So I make sure that I get that. That's my journey. But I mean, I still, like I said, I still go to church, because I know you were asking about like the complex of not actually all the way leaving. I still go to church sometimes. I haven't been recently, of course, with everything going on, and I could watch online, but I mean, I go so more so for like the spiritual feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people look at Christianity as like this practice because it's so like straight and narrow. People make it seem like that. But if you really go back into like Christianity for real, like it's so many similarities to Voodoo. It's so many similarities to E5. You know what I'm saying? There's a Jesus in E5. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it really depends. And I think my family as Nigerians are more so still sticking with it because we believe, a little history, Igbo people believe that they're descendants, straight descendants of Moses. So we believe that we're descendants of one of his sons that migrated down. So in E5, technically, that would be one of our Orishas. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus would be one of our Orishas anyway. So that's why I think my has found a way to kind of intertangle the both. But yeah, so I don't know. I've just researched, asked history questions, talked to my family. I'm still learning. I'm not sorry, y'all. Where I want to be. But yeah, so I mean, church I feel like is a good lesson, a good place to learn. But even catching the Holy Ghost is pretty much getting possessed. Like, so I've just kind of related it and meshed it into communion. You drinking blood and skin and flesh, like.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you say that the way that I say it, people, but when I say it, they be like, okay, yeah, all right. No. It's just one. I'm like, no, they're literally saying it while you consume it. They're saying, fuck. They're doing the ritual.
A voodoo like session, and the ladies like they'll be like, no, like they'll like move their that speaking in tongues. Yeah. That's speaking that when I was in church. What you mean?
They tried to get me to. I was like, ain't nothing coming out. They create a vibration. It's like genuine. Like that has to come out of you. Like I'm not about to fake this. You know what I mean? Like make a mockery of this because you want me to make a show.
Oh, it's not supposed to be like that. It's really supposed to be a spirit taking over you. Like when they say take over me, like the spirit take over. That's really like the same thing that they do in Voodoo. Like, it's just a difference. I don't know. So I'm still working on figure out like my specific stance, but you know, I can see how all of them kind of relate. So
you can see the spiritual genuinency in the Voodoo. That's the difference generally when you see the Christianity. Because somebody can catch the Holy Ghost and you might see an old lady catch it, you be like, oh, she feeling that for real. But then you'll see somebody trying to compete with her. But then you see Voodoo, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, this motherfucker's really over here, like, different. Like, they different. You can see the difference in their eyes. You can feel the difference in their demeanor and their spirit. Like, it's a huge difference. Like,
yeah, it is. I think it's more intense. I feel like Christianity has been so institutionalized over the years that like it's lost so much of its core values, honestly.
Yeah. Face value.
So they got
that's a good conversation, y'all. Y'all got me thinking.
Well, actually, what you brought up about Christianity brought some face value back to it, because I only know superficial, don't ask no questions. This is what it is. Sentimental value of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
I think I froze for a second. My bad, y'all.
Oh, no. You still look like you're good over here. It didn't freeze. I couldn't tell. But yeah, how do you feel about the music you have to play on the radio, or do you get to actually pick what music you play on the radio?
So I don't get to actually pick it, but I can kind of put in some of the ones that I want to hear. Honestly, I feel like people have to separate entertainment from like, I don't know, it's just entertainment to me. Honestly, like, I like it. What I listen to in my own free time might not be the same, but it's just entertainment. So as long as it entertains, they did. I got it.
Yeah, man. Like, it's a business. So at the end of the day, realistically, so
yeah.
I was always curious about that part as far as doing the radio, because I know a lot of people have that complaint about as far as the music always being the same or being spun. But I know everybody also got different positions, so you might not be the person that's actually putting, like, this isn't my set to actually play the music and not, you know what I'm saying? So it's just my segment to input some moves.
Well, I think I'm really lucky because, you know, our station is Black owned. So my PD is like, and the owner is like very dope. Like, I can come to him and be like, let's play this today. And he'll add it in for me and stuff. So, and he doesn't play, you know, a lot of stations you get there and you hear the same song every hour. I don't have to do that. Like, I can change the song. I'm very thankful for that. And, you know, I like trap music. Listen, sometimes you just vibe. Like, I might switch some songs around and make it vibe a little bit more. I might be like, it's too early to be busting guns and stuff. So let's yeah. But I think it's all about energy, and music definitely is important. It definitely can uplift somebody in the morning. Somebody might be like getting ready and be like, man, I really don't want to go to work. Like, I'm tired of this shit. And they hear a song that I'm like, you know what? I'm bored or I'm sleepy. Let me wake myself up. So I just play this song and now they calling like, girl. So I'm like, okay, thank you.
Nah, I know that feeling, man. Like, I gotta wake up. I gotta get something, some type of momentum behind me, because I'm like, man, I just gotta go in here and start serving people.
Okay.
So do you get to play local people too as well?
Yeah, so we have a spotlight where I can play a snippet of local people, but I don't get to play as many local people on air as I would like. Now that we have the Rise and Grind spotlight, I get to introduce local people a lot, but it's not during my show. So, you know, I don't know. I wish I could, but we have somebody who does that, and I wouldn't want to step on nobody's toes anyway. So, you know, I'm fine with that. I still can do my interviews and stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah. Have you thought about creating your own space off of that?
So I have like a interview segment on social media and on YouTube and stuff like that, but on Hot 97, I don't think I would. I don't know. To be honest, it's a very like thin line you have to go with when you're like on gossip and stuff like that, because you don't ever want to be compartmentalized to just doing gossip for local people or just doing local interviews. You also want to be the first name that comes up when you're doing, like when J. Cole comes by or when whoever comes. I'm saying J. Cole because of you know that, right?
I love it.
Yeah. It's my trajectory. It's my trajectory. I appreciate it.
See how the universe works. Yeah.
But yeah, you just have a good mixture, and that's why I treat every interview like, whether it's with an independent artist or whether I'm interviewing Ari Lennox, whatever, like I'm going to bring my best, because you never know who will see it. You know what I'm saying? And I still want to do independent interviews and do all of that, but I know that at this point, I can't really make that solely a part of my brand. So, you know, that's already taken.
Gotcha. What is your favorite part of going to work? What is your favorite part of your job?
I don't know. I have so many favorite parts. I like feeling like, okay, so even though literally I'm in a room by myself, talking to myself, I like feeling like people are listening to me, because, you know, I grew up with them parents that would be like, shut up. Why are you talking so much? So now I'm like, look, they listening to me. Yes. Okay. Let me wake them up. So I love that part. I love being able to dance and do silly stuff and not feel bad about it. You know, like a lot of people go to work and they have to put on this corporate persona. Like I go to work, me and my PD play jokes all the time. Like I'll go to work acting crazy. Like it'll just be fun. I don't know. It's just fun. The environment. You could be yourself. I like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that don't even seem like work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like us over here, so this doesn't really feel like work. It should be fun.
Because we're doing
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of learning in the process, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and just being able to even do this too, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to reach you all the way down there. Like,
I know. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah. So.
Look, you were so funny. You were like, unless you want to come to Virginia. I was like, Zoom me, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that this is an option, I'm like, yes. Zoom.
Yeah.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come, but Zoom is an option. You know what I'm saying? But definitely. And I definitely appreciate you tapping in with us. Yes,
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You want to let the people know where to find you at or what you got going on coming up next?
Okay. So I have a lot of stuff in store. I have a lot of new content coming to all of my social media. So I'm on literally everything. You can find me at BernieOH, BernieOH. And yeah, I'm on Instagram at I am BernieOH. But if you search BernieOH, I'm on everything like that. So yeah, I'm on everything. Tap in.
I'm gonna definitely make sure I got everything down below, you know what I'm saying? It's been another dope episode of the TrakWolf Godcast, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely make sure y'all tap in with Vinegar Hill, you know what I'm saying? Much love to BernieOH for showing up, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate every bit of it, you know what I'm saying? I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got Cheno Bliss in the building.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And we signing out.